welcome to another Inside Lansing, where today's guest is Dr. Jones, the new superintendent for District 215. Dr. Jones, thanks for being here today.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
And I just want to jump right in and talk about you're our new superintendent here at District 215 for TF South, TF North.
And Center.
That's right, and Center. Yes, thank you. And you have a very extensive background in education. And I maybe wanted to start at the beginning and just kind of talk a little bit about where your training originally came from, your schooling and everything, and what you had to go through for that to get into education.
Sure. Well, again, thank you for the invitation. And hello, City of Lansing. It's a pleasure to be here, the new superintendent. I've always loved school, and this is actually my third career. I started off working on the ambulance, so I went through preparation to be an EMT.
Okay.
And from there, I took a job at Cook County Jail. And during that time, the HIV/AIDS crisis was just hitting. And there were a number of positions that were open, one of which was public health educator. And I applied and I got it. And actually, the best part of the job was training individuals who were HIV positive to go out into their community and help prevent the spread. I actually worked on a grant under Dr. Fauci. So it's really deja vu.
Wow.
Yeah, I met him once at a conference. So it's really interesting that it's almost like a full circle with that was a pandemic, and this is a pandemic that we're currently in. So I taught individuals how to go out, and that was really rewarding. And from there, I went back to school, got my master's in special education, entered as an entry-level teacher after being a director of prevention and education at Cook County Hospital. People thought I was nuts for leaving that job. It was really like just a dream job, a high-paying job. And I left and became a special ed teacher. And my life took off really from there. I have been a special ed teacher, became an assistant principal, became director of field placement at Chicago State.
So for you, it's more about, you're really into it for helping people. You're really into it for helping like the educational part.
Absolutely. I really have a passion for making things better in the lives of young people and the lives of staff as well. I'm an advocate for growing our own and advocating and helping people reach their potential. So after I became, a school administrator, I went and worked for the Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice. I was an assistant superintendent, and I was promoted to a superintendent. And this job came along, and I applied and interviewed and got it during the pandemic.
And now you're here as a superintendent.
Yes, I am.
During a pandemic, which is the next thing I want to talk about, which is, of course, 2020 is a very different year for everyone here. And I just wanted to ask, how has that impacted your coming into this role, and also how you're looking at the year coming up?
It's just been different.
Yes.
As far as even the interview process, it was over Zoom, but I did come out and visit each school because if I was going to take the job, I at least needed to come and physically be in the buildings. And so I did a complete tour and really loved it. Right now, as you probably know, we are remote.
Yes.
We have staff coming in if they feel comfortable or they can teach from their home. Our attendance has tremendously increased, which is something that is significant during this time. Of course, this is not the ideal way to provide educational services to our kids. I know that. I wrestle with that, but I would rather err on the side of safety. We have a board who totally supports that decision as well. They are really courageous because there are many boards that are not supporting the remote plan.
Right.
And so I'm really grateful that I have a common sense board who really cares about this community, all of the communities that feed into 215. We are, as you know, we're looking forward to opening up a cosmetology barber program.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so at the last board meeting last week, actually, it was approved to start the bidding process.
Okay.
So that's exciting. We've retired the Rebel name. That's
True.
a huge undertaking. And so we're going through the process of renaming, and we're giving ourselves time to do that, and including many voices, especially the voices of our students.
I was going to say the students probably matter in that choice.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, just continuing to keep up with the academic rigor in the district and making sure that that is not falling to the wayside, and making sure that our kids are engaged. We have a student support hotline that our youth can call if they're having some difficulties with the mental
With the new type of learning?
health. Yes, absolutely. And that's Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m.
And that's a new service?
That is a new service. We launched it a couple of weeks ago, and it is manned by our staff. Either you have to be a school counselor, a school social worker, or a school psychologist. And so we're trying to make sure that we're helping to support everyone through this time.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know we just talked about some of the new things that are there, but do you have any specific goals as superintendent that you would like to get out this year? I know, again, it's a challenging year for everybody, so I mean, maybe your goals aren't as lofty as they could have been, but we're just thinking maybe you could share with us some of the goals that you are trying to go after.
Well, I'm a proponent of career technical education, so increasing that opportunity for our scholars to engage in other opportunities other than academics only. So just having a wide range of opportunities, and I think the cosmetology barber program offers that across the curriculum. So I want to make sure we have a robust program, but even make it even more robust. The ultimate goal is to have our kids career or college ready.
Yeah.
Clearly before they leave us. We want them to be prepared. Also, the opportunity to have more advanced placement classes and opportunities. Dual crediting is a big proponent that I'm interested in increasing. We're going through a policy customization project where we're updating all of our policies to be in line with Illinois State Board of Education policy guidance and the Illinois Association of School Boards policy guidance. And so that's a huge undertaking.
Yes.
And these are things that the board has wanted to do, and they had put things in place to start that process, and I'm here to move it along.
So you come into the role here of superintendent, you come to District 215, and I just want to ask, you've been through a lot of different school districts already. What stood out here at 215?
School report card stood out for me.
Okay.
I delved deep into the data, and this is a really solid district financially as well as academically. It has somewhat of some diversity within it, and I knew the former superintendent, Dr. Williams, and I knew all of the things I had heard about, all the things, excellent things that he had done, and so he's left the district in really great shape to me, and the TV production program is outstanding, and that was a draw for me, the drama program. So things like that is just not one thing, like it's a multitude of things. And I think that's what makes a district dynamic and make kids want to come and be a part of something great. Some superintendents might decide, I want to go to that district just because the sports team is great. It's just not one thing. It's a number of things. And the 4 communities that feed into District 215 are outstanding communities as well. One of the things I did not know until I got the job was how many alumni work for the district.
Yes.
It is really incredible, and I just want to mention that because I don't think that's discussed enough. I think that is just outstanding, and it shows the commitment of the staff who've gone to school here and now have chosen to work in the district, of which they can work in any district, but has chosen to work in this district. So that brings me a lot of excitement. It really does.
Well, we're excited to have you here. And I just have one more question for you. And really, it brings us all back to, what do you love about being a superintendent and what do you love about this district?
Oh, right. I am humbled to be a superintendent. And I love the fact that I can make decisions that impact not only a scholar, but impact the community. And I come every day ready to make sure that that's happening. So it's not many African American female high school district superintendents in Illinois. I believe I'm one of 3. And that really says a lot, and I don't take that for granted. So I love working with my team. I have an outstanding, competent, dynamic team. They are excellent. Each one of them bringing a specialty that complements my work, my leadership style. So I really enjoy seeing the tangibleness of what we're doing. So when we open the cosmetology barber program, that will be something tangible that it will, go a long way. So I really love that. I love the community because everyone has been very generous and very authentic and nice. I'm a part of the Common Ground program that was launched here in Lansing. And so I've been meeting with my partner and talking about Lansing. And so I'm getting to know more about it. But I love the community feel that the community, it's a walking community. You have art programs in the community, yes. Businesses. And so I really love that about the community.
Well, again, we'd like to thank you for being on the show, and we're looking forward to having you on next year, maybe talk a little bit more about 2021 at that point.
Absolutely. I'll have more goals.
Thank you again, Dr. Jones.
You're welcome.
And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Inside Lansing.